Uzadara.
We have Uzadara. Uzadara is a kind of ugali, but the wheat, the flour is made of wheat, but it's like ugali, it's like corn flour, but it's wheat flour. So just imagine using wheat flour to cook ugali. So Kenyan people here have made it look normal, it's like ugali. So you are forcing yourself to make it. The taste is not the same, but it's ugali. It's Uzadara.
Yeah, you just adapt.
Hello everyone, welcome to Balance It podcast. Balance It is a platform that empowers young men and women to live a purposeful life. We help you navigate through the challenges of life and gain stability in all your spheres of life.
We engage in conversations relating to purpose-driven living, health, fitness, entrepreneurship, and anything related to lifestyle.
Our massive transformative purpose is transformation through wellness.
If you like this episode, make sure that you subscribe and share it with your family and friends. I am Gertrude Nasike.
And I am Eda Onyoni.
Welcome back to the Balance It podcast. In this episode, we are going to talk about studying abroad, and we are looking at it from a bachelor's, master's, and PhD perspective or doctoral perspective. And we're just going to discuss quite a number of things, but from a perspective of Kenyan students, yes.
And definitely, as you are watching, if you're watching from YouTube, you can see with us we have two guests. They will be introducing themselves shortly. If you are hearing us from Spotify, hi. We have two guests on the platform, and yes, as we will be having all these conversations. So thank you so much for agreeing to be on the podcast. We are so honored to have you here to share your experiences abroad. So maybe we can start with you because you're super close to me. You can introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you are abroad, and what exactly you are doing.
Okay, thank you for this. For my name, I'm Wycliffe, a student studying abroad in University of Page, and currently I'm doing Bachelors of Science in Nursing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is Peter Onchuru Mokaya. Yeah, I come from Kenya. I come from Nyamira County. Currently, I'm in a town, in a city called Page in Hungary. So I'm a second year PhD student in the Doctoral School of Health Sciences. Nice to be here.
Welcome Peter and Wycliffe. And myself and Gertrude, as you all know, we are also master's students at the University of Page, so we'll just be having a conversation about our studying abroad and how our experiences have shaped us to who we are. Yeah. So we can begin on just trying to understand why did we actually decide to settle with Europe or Hungary, because that is why we are here. We can begin with Peter.
Oh, wow.
The PhD student.
Yeah.
Why Hungary or why Europe? First of all, I have to be honest with the viewers is that one of the reasons as to why I came to Hungary is because I got a scholarship. It's a government scholarship between the government of Hungary and the government of Kenya. That's one of the reasons why I came to this place. But another reason is that Europe is far ahead in terms of academics, in terms of development, and in terms of social and political processes. They are ahead of us by far. So it's not only academics, but there are many things that motivated me to come to this place. And if you go back to history, Europe is like one of the homes of the founding fathers of academics and education. The great hypocrites, like it's 400 years before Christ, the founding father of medicine, came from this very continent. We have big people like as late as Viktor Frankl, who is a founding father also of psychology, came from Austria there. It's not far from Hungary. So Hungary, so Europe is very far in terms of academics and education, and that's why I'm in. Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
So my motivation to study in Europe, first, it's because of scholarship. Because like for me, if it's not for scholarship, I don't know if I would be here, honestly. So first, it's because like I found this scholarship, but initially back when I was back in high school, I still wanted to study abroad, but I didn't have any means to come here. But luckily, 2 years after I completed my high school, I came across this Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, and I applied, and luckily they gave me a chance to study abroad. And back in Kenya still I was doing another bachelor's, but I was not contented. Even though I was studying, I was not contented by the course I was doing, because I wanted to study nursing so hard, but I didn't get the chance. But since I saw a chance that I can study nursing, and not only in Kenya but to study abroad, so I went for that opportunity, and right now I'm here. And if I am to say, since I've been to both education system, the universities in Kenya and the universities in Europe, I can say education here, it's far much ahead. Even the systems, everything, I can say Europe is far much ahead compared to Kenya. And literally everything in the schools, the students and teachers relationship, it's all different. The grading systems, yeah, I guess here they want you to succeed. Yeah.
Wow, that's really, really nice. So am I supposed also to share my agenda? Okay, so for me I'll just be brief. I've always had the desire to study abroad from my high school as well. And since I wasn't in a position to do it at Bachelors, I had made a decision that for my master's, I must do it abroad and not in Kenya. So I was like, I would just wait, even if an opportunity to do it in Kenya would come, I would still wait, because I deeply felt like it would come a time where I will really get to a point that I study abroad. And getting to see a program in Hungary, because I'm doing business development, and the fact that also business development is such a big topic, or a career path even in Hungary, because you'd find in Hungary and Europe as well, because you'd find the business environment or atmosphere in Europe is very vibrant, given the fact that there are many industries, many retailers, and these are the opportunities where business development people or people into business can really get fused into, as compared to back home in Kenya, where maybe the field is there, but everyone says it's saturated. And it's very true, because we also don't have such a vibrant or a big spectrum of business opportunities, other than just maybe working within someone's organization, Yeah, so that's also a major reason as to why I chose Hungary, and I chose the program that I'm taking, because it was now being offered here. Yes.
Okay, I'll just my reason for coming to Hungary as well was Peter's reason as well, because there was an opportunity and I actually landed on it. So I also wanted, I knew I didn't want to do my master's in Kenya because of the basic fact that I wanted to just travel abroad and get to see what else people are also experiencing out there, because we had like these exchange programs back in school in campus, and when I was doing my bachelor's, and we could have these exchange programs and we could interact with abroad people, like students coming from abroad countries to come and just interact with you and get into your curriculum, and whatever they were saying was really good. So that motivated me to just look for these opportunities, and I'm glad that I got a scholarship to just come to Hungary. And during that time, like when I finished my master's, I was just looking for a scholarship, not specifically anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just looking for a scholarship. But now when God guides you to the specific path that you're supposed to do, the only thing that you can do is just obey. And I obeyed.
And maybe I will add something about the academics, having been to institution, Kenya-based and European-based institution. I can say like our education system in Kenya actually is good.
Yes.
And is one of the best. I can root for it. We have a very good education system, and like in university, the word universal, we are universal. So if somebody is educated in Kenya, can still work in Europe. And the major differences I'm seeing is the process. Process, you know, and it's something which we really need to work on, especially in Kenyan universities. If my master's is taking 2 years, let it take 2 years. When I was in Kenya, my master's took more than 2 years, and because of process. But in Europe, the process is clear. If it is 2 years, it's 2 years. I think all European universities, they've subscribed to what they call the Bologna process, where like if it is bachelor's, it takes a specific period, master's a specific period, PhD a specific period. And here we also have good professors, good mentors. So if you have a supervisor, the supervisor will be on your neck, following you up, you following the professor, and also the school. You have to give a report at the end of every semester what you've been doing. So that is the difference. So our rate of churning out graduate in our universities, we have a bit of friction which we really need to work. But the content is good. It's as good as the one we have in Europe.
Yeah, and I believe that is why it is important for us to actually get exposed to these different kind of processes and see what is not working back at home. And maybe we can go back and actually implement whatever that is working that we think will work in our processes, because these are systems that we have grown to know. We know everything that is in place, and so we can easily create solutions to that.
That's really well put, and I like the way that you've highlighted it, because very true, our system, the processes are quite a mess. And both of you have talked about scholarship opportunities, and to be specific, in this case, let's talk about just the Stipendium Hungaricum, but if you're in a position to also explain about other scholarship opportunities that maybe you've been a part of, you can also feel free to do so. So what are maybe, let's say, the requirements of these specific scholarship opportunities that you're going to mention, and how can probably our viewers, those who are really interested in taking part in either of these study programs, how can they go about maybe starting from scratch to actually now getting here?
So let's say I'll start, because like I can see a bachelor's, master's, and PhD, and then like every study program like has different requirements. Like the requirements for bachelor's is not the requirements for PhD, and it's not the requirements for masters, right? So if I'm to say about the requirements for you to get a Stipendium Hungaricum, like the scholarship itself, so the requirements were, first you have to have finished like high school, of course. And then you have to be over 18 years, so that you can access like the passport and the visa itself. So they required for you a minimum grade of B plus, because like they have highlighted everything that you need, and for you to get this scholarship, you can go to Ministry of Education in Kenya. Like they post these scholarships. So if you go to Ministry of Education, you will see the scholarship that they are posting, and then you can go through the requirements. So you have to get like a B plus and above, and then you must have like completed your high school up to 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So for my case, I was already in second year going to third year. But if I would be in third year, I wouldn't have applied this scholarship, because like it would have been more years since I completed my high school. So, and then age, they say like you have to be 25 and below for bachelors. So for you to be qualified for bachelors, you have to be 25 and below. And then let's go to the specific fields for like medicine, and because I'm in medical field and health sciences. So you have to be like having good grades in the required subjects like biology, mathematics, chemistry. So you have to be like having like B plus and above, or maybe B and above, for you to get the scholarship. And then about language proficiency, the Kenyans, like, we are eligible for this scholarship. We don't need to do like the English exams, the 12, the IELTS. We don't need these ones, because like for my case, I went to Ministry of Education, and they wrote a letter, like it was saying this is for, you are qualified to study abroad because your English level is good. Because like I've studied since nursery school up to the level that I am. So for Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, you don't need to do the exams, the English exams. And then, what else?
Interview process.
Interview process.
Oh yeah, so as I said, like for me, I'm going to focus more on health sciences, because like for me as a nurse, I didn't do entrance exam. I guess that was a credit for me, because because like medical students, they are doing biology, chemistry, mathematics, and you know, like it was 2 years after I completed my high school. So I wouldn't have said I had the knowledge about science and the mathematics, because I'm not fresh from high school. So for me, they just gave me, first you have to go to interview in Nairobi, because like it's bilateral. It's between Ministry of Education in Kenya, the government of Kenya, and the government of Hungary. So they are working bilaterally. So first you have to go, after you are you apply, and then you are selected, and then if you are nominated, you go to interview in Nairobi, and then you wait for your results. So I did my interview in Nairobi, and luckily I qualified. So I had to wait for another interview so that I can get acceptance letter to the uni that I applied. And this scholarship, they give you opportunity to apply to 2 universities or maybe 2 courses. So I applied University of Page and University of Debrecen, but both I applied nursing. But I started with University of Page, and I did interview with lecturers in the universities, and I passed, luckily, because I can say luckily because I can't say I'm the best. And I was in a different field back in Kenya. So, and even though it was not like that different, because back in Kenya I was studying community health. I was doing my bachelor's in community health. And compared, there are 2 different fields, because like community health, you deal with the community, but nursing, you deal, like, it's hospital based, you understand? So I did my interview, but that's not all. Once you get the acceptance letter, that's not all. You have to wait for the award. So you have to wait for the award letter, and I can say that's the most challenging part of the scholarship, because like you already know you have passed your exams, you have passed your interviews for those who do the interview and the exams, but the award, it's coming, like it's different because many people have got the acceptance, but not everyone gets the award. So because like I ever talked to my friends and they said they didn't get the award because like the course required a certain number of people, but since the number did not get enough, so like they couldn't get the award. And there are many factors for you to get award. So for me, luckily I got the award, and that's why I'm here and still. So I can encourage everyone back at home who wants to study abroad. It's a nice scholarship because they give you like even stipend, and they pay for your house, and it's fully funded actually. So I would encourage someone who is stuck there back at home, maybe he is just like me who was doing a course, maybe he or she didn't want to. So you can go to the Ministry of Education and be checking regularly, because there are even more scholarships, not even like stipendium. There are even other scholarships like Young Christian Scholarship, and even that one is far much better than this one. Yeah, we all know, right? We can testify from our friends too. Yeah. So you can go and be checking regularly, because I even see they post Korean scholarship, there is DAD. Yeah, there are many scholarship they post there in Ministry of Education. And you might be one of the lucky people just like me, and you'll find yourself studying abroad.
What about you, Peter?
He has elaborated everything.
You can just now put maybe highlight the requirements maybe in terms of PhD, because I'm thinking maybe for PhD you need to look for a supervisor first, and even for the supervisors, how can prospective doctoral students, where can they find those supervisors? Are you actually being given maybe a list of them, or you need to just go and Google available supervisor for research? Like, how can they go about it? Yeah.
I would say in Hungary, there is a website that has all the list of possible supervisors in all universities in Hungary. That is in the health sciences.
Yeah.
That's what I can say they have. So for me, I went into that website, and then I checked professors who are doing research in my area of interest, and I contacted them. And sure enough, I got 3 prospective professors who are willing to supervise me. So I can also say I was lucky. I got 2 supervisors from the University of Page and 1 supervisor from St. Louis University. So I had applied for a PhD in 2 universities. So I was accepted at the University of Page. But there's something I want to address to prospective students, those who want to pursue PhD. Actually, PhD is, I can say, has a biggest window of opportunity than masters and even bachelors. There are many opportunities for PhD in Europe, in US, and even in Africa. There are a lot of resources, and one thing I would like to tell the viewers is, if you want to pursue a PhD, there are many things you have to do. First of all, know your course. Once you know the course you want to pursue, have a research project or a research concept in your mind which you can say in like 3 sentences. Then go to the website of the university that you want to apply to. Check the list of professors in that university. Look, because most professors, their CVs online. They have CVs there, it's open, including their contacts. Check the researches they are handling. And some of these professors, they have research labs, they have funding, and they want PhD students. So look at their CV, more so look at the researches they've done, the publications they've done. If a professor has done a publication that relates with your work, relates with the topic you want to go and study, or you want to go and do research in, contact that professor, send that professor a concept note. Let it not be more than a page, at most a page, a concept note of what you want to do, and send it to the professor and ask them, what do you think about this? I would like to apply to a university. This is the concept. I'm looking for people I can work with. Can you advise me whether this works or not?
Wow.
And most professors, especially in abroad, they want PhD students from different countries because of what they call diversity and inclusion. The more the diverse the number of students are, the greater the rank of a university. It's one of the things they check. So they want to have students from diverse background. So, but first of all, you have to show you are capable. You have to show that your interests and their interests they marry. Once they agree to supervise or work with you, I assure you 70%, at least you have secured 70% chances of securing a scholarship. If the scholarship is there, if it is dependent on that school's decision. So because there are many scholarships, we have intergovernmental scholarship, like I want to tell us that like all governments in Europe, they have intergovernmental scholarship. Like every country in Europe, I don't know whether it's every, but most of them, at least there's a government funding that goes, that they collaborate with the Ministry of Education in Kenya. So I encourage you people to go and check now and then. That's one of the scholarships. But even these universities, they have their own scholarships. They have their own funding. We have funding from EU. France, they have a very good scholarship called Sandwich Scholarship. If you are pursuing a PhD in Kenya, you can work with a university in Kenya and also a university in France. You come to France for like 6 months, you do your coursework, you also go to Kenyan university for 6 months, you do your course, so you alternate, and you get 2 supervisors, one from Kenya and one from France. And it's one of the prestigious program I know. So if you are looking for something to do, and then maybe you have a family and you want to not to spend entirely in Europe or abroad, that is a good program to enroll in. And they have, if you want to understand that, go to, it's called can't remember, but go to Alliance Française in Nairobi. They have it's called Campus something. They have that program, and they will give you they will tell you about it, and even they can connect you with the supervisors. It's one of the things which you need to check. But PhD people, first of all, know exactly what you want. Start by contacting the supervisor. You can't be given admission if you don't have a supervisor. And most supervisors are there and they are willing. Yeah.
Wow. And unlike bachelors, you see he could move from community health to nursing, and I hear for PhD it's mostly proper, or you can easily get into the PhD program that you want to if the master's program that you did is aligned with the PhD program that you did. Is that like a misconception, or it's true?
It may not be necessarily true, but it is good. You know, PhD specialization.
Yeah.
It's good for you to go to the line of your specialty, and it makes your work easier. If you change things at the PhD level, sometimes it is hard for you to understand this concept, especially when you are doing research. But the thing is not a must for you to have a PhD, same as what you did at your master's level. It's not. I know someone who did masters in social work and is doing a PhD in law. And yeah, I'm in doctoral school of health sciences. Though I'm doing health sciences, specializing in health economics. In bachelors, yeah, I did masters in health economics and policy. So it depends. It's not a must. If your master's was maybe in economics, you can do PhD in business. Yeah, they have to be related. Yes,
Okay.
if you did maybe masters in medicine, you can do PhD in public health. So PhD is about relationship, and I'm also in research. Yeah.
Okay. Just to add, maybe in terms of the master's scholarship opportunity, I'll just add a few things. Number one is the transcripts aspect. For us, we had to have transcripts, and I don't know if I can remember properly, but you can check the requirements as well on the Stipendium Hungaricum website. But they needed, I think, an upper class. Second class upper, and that is why it's important to have good grades in campus, because in your bachelor's, because it gives you this platform that you can be able to just share your papers, and if you get the opportunity, then why not? And then the other thing that I liked as well is the English proficiency test. Stipendium Hungaricum does not require the English proficiency test, unlike other or like most scholarship opportunities to these countries. So I feel like Stipendium Hungaricum, I like that because like myself, I had done the English proficiency test like 2 years ago prior, and they wanted a recent statement or like a certificate, their recent certificate, which I couldn't provide, and I couldn't do another English proficiency test that was like 27,000. Right now I'm sure it is even more because of the inflation aspect. So
that one is for Kenyans and those who are speaking English. So Stipendium Hungaricum is a scholarship that covers the whole world. So those who come from countries that don't speak English, they are subjected to English proficiency. So it's for Kenyans. Were at least we are exempted.
So if you are not Kenyan, then it is important to check the requirements of your own country, because all these requirements are different based on the country that we come from.
Yes, and just on to the next, you can take us through the visa process, how it was for you.
Of the visa process?
Yes.
Oh, and I want to address young people.
Yes.
And those who want to travel.
Those
Those who want to travel. This is the greatest opportunity for you to travel. If you want to go to any developed country in the world, the biggest opportunity you have is through academics. If you go to different embassies, you want to go to abroad because you've been invited, chances are that you won't be given that visa. If you are going there for social events, chances are that you won't be given that visa. But if you are a student and as old as my friend and you've passed all the exams, you've gotten the scholarship, there's no reason for them to deny you a visa. So we have a big number of students, young people in Europe, from Africa, different parts of Africa, from Asia, from Middle East. We have a big number of big number of young people who are here because they are a student. So if you want to go abroad, my brother, my sister, work hard, pass your exams, apply for this scholarship, and you will get a visa. That visa will be given. So the thing is, once you get a visa, once you get the scholarship, then they send you forms from the embassy. This is a coordinated process. The government of Kenya has something to do, the government of Hungary, the universities in Kenya, they have an aspect of things to do. So once you get the scholarship, the university writes you an admission letter. Then there is what they call Tempest Foundation. They give you the award letter. They say that we've given you the scholarship and we will be paying for your stipend when you are here, when you are in Hungary, and also paying for your accommodation. They even write that letter where you will be accommodated in the university. So those two things, those two letters are the one which you will use to apply for the visa. So you apply for the visa, there's a form you fill. It's relatively simple. It's not complicated like other countries that have applied for a visa, and you book for an interview date. You go for an interview, and it's a simple process. It's a simple process, and because you are a legitimate student, you have your papers, you have your good brain, they give you the visa. It's so simple. So my friend, if you want to come to Europe, study hard. Young people study. There are opportunities.
I totally agree, because I remember actually my visa came so fast. I was supposed to travel in February, but my visa came in August. So whatever Rita is saying is so true.
That's very true.
So okay, so we have gotten the visa. So the next thing is now traveling abroad. Now once we have traveled abroad, we have this perception about what we are expecting to see, especially if maybe this is your first time coming out of Kenya. You have all these expectations of what you've been seeing in movies, in the news about maybe Al Jazeera, CNN, that you've been seeing online. But now you get to the ground, you realize, oh my God, then there is language barrier, there is different things, cultural differences. Maybe we can hear from you guys, what cultural differences have you experienced? And maybe like the massive one. But massive is relative either way. So let's start with Wycliffe.
Okay, for me, I can say coming abroad was the best thing that has ever happened to me. To start with, because like one of the best things in Europe, you get a European Union visa. So like it's a visa for Hungary, but it's European Union. I can testify we've gone to several trips with my like it's so easy for you to travel like to other countries in Europe, because like I've been to Germany, I've been to Greece, I'll be going to Estonia, I'll be going to Vienna, Austria.
You just came. And
I'll be going to Poland, I'll be going to Portugal.
Wow.
You're fully booked.
If you can check like my calendar, you'll see like flights. It's full of flights.
Catching flights, not feelings.
Nowadays I catch flights, not feelings.
And another thing which they need to know is that most of those flights actually don't pay for them. They are paid for. There are many opportunity for young people. That's why I said if you want to get an opportunity, come to Europe. But to the gateway is education. You'll be like this guy.
You can call me traveler.
Clearly.
So Europe, it's like you can travel easily when you are in Europe. Unlike in Kenya, like when you are in Kenya, it's hard for you to go to even East Africa.
Mhm.
Yes, we have the East Africa like passport,
Yeah.
but it's a challenge for you still to go to Uganda or Tanzania or Ethiopia, you understand? But once you're in Europe, they have like this bond. Like you can even travel with just your student card, because even the student card that you are given, if you have ever noticed, it's written European Union Youth Pass.
Yeah, true.
So like that student card, you can travel with it in any European Union country. And then what else? The education system here. One of the best thing I can say, like the exams. Like you write exams in 2 months, and like compared to Kenya, because I was doing bachelors still in Kenya, exams were given 2 weeks, and you don't have another chance to retake. You understand? For you to retake, like it's a supplementary that you'll do once you open the school.
Yeah.
You'll have to pay for it, some, you know. But here, for you to fail, like it takes a lot for you to fail actually, because you are given like 4 chances, 4 to 3 to 4 chances for you to retake. Yeah, so that I can say education-wise, I find it really nice. You are given a good period for you to prepare for your exams. You understand? And then transportation here, like it's so nice. Actually, I can say I've used all the mode of transport. Yeah, so I'm talking about my personal experience, because like back in Kenya, I've used like SGR, you know the train. Like for you to use, like it's made like it's a big deal, because like before you enter that train, you have to be searched everywhere. Like it's for you. Yeah, like,
security.
Yeah, you go to security, but here, like using a train, it's normal. It's like using a bus. You understand? And then the buses here, the monthly bus pass, like you just need to pay once a month, and then you can go everywhere you want within the city. The city is big, Page is big. And still, if you want to go to other cities, you still have, like you buy a monthly pass, a Hungary pass, which is cheaper because like it's 1830 for it. Yeah, so it's not that expensive. So even like I can say I first came to see the trams, the metros, because we don't have them in Kenya actually. So it was a nice experience for me. Especially the first day I just arrived at the airport, and then the friend who came for me, like, I wondered, what is this you are entering? And then you are going underground, and I was like, how will I go out? Yeah, it was so nice. It was so nice using the metros. Yeah, the metros are the subways, right?
Yeah,
so these things I've been seeing them in movies. I couldn't imagine one day I would be using them like freely every time I want until you get bored, you know. Yeah, and then about food, of course, we eat daily, right? Everybody eats. So I have to talk about food. So compared to Kenya, like food here is somewhat cheap, especially chicken. I have to say chicken. Yeah, I can say, like on my view, chicken is the cheapest thing for me. So like I eat chicken frequently, and I've come to know how to cook chicken. So yeah, I cook very nice chicken, and then sugar, wheat, these things, like they are not that expensive. So food here it's somehow cheaper, and like you can't say like it's quality still, and then they specify if it's GMO and if it's organic. So you are given that choice whether you want to eat GMO or whether you want to eat organic food. So I can say, since I came here last year, and my experience with food, I can say I've gained weight. You can testify.
I can testify.
Yeah, you guys can testify. But when you saw me like, yeah, before and after, yeah, you can testify about that. Yeah, it's so nice. So, and I came to know how to cook. And then on the negative part, I can't say, I'm saying on my side because you've said it's relative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, the main challenge is the weather. So like today in the morning, I was seeing a video of a girl who was in Germany, and she was saying like, back in Kenya, I would just wake up without looking at the weather forecast. But once I landed in Europe, the first thing to look is the weather.
Yeah,
You understand? Yeah, because like, of course, in your rooms, there are the heaters. So like, the weather is like, the temperatures are just normal, but you can just wake up and you decide to go outside and you feel like running back because like maybe it's negative. So I can say I suffered during winter. Yeah, I didn't like winter, and even autumn. I can say I like autumn because like autumn had cold still, and winter there was at times there was even snowing. Though I like the snow because it was my first time seeing snow, you understand. But still, it was extreme weathers because from my side, I was living in Mombasa. Understand? Mombasa is summer always. Understand? Yeah, it's always hot. And then I just landed in a new place. When I came last year, it was still summer, and then I just found the temperatures are just normal. They were just normal, and then later it was bad. Yeah, and then the aspect of day and night, because there are time changes here. Like it came a point where darkness was coming around 4 p.m. And it was a challenge for me because like you are in class, the lecturer is teaching, but you enter the class when it's daytime, but once you get out, it's already dark. You understand? Yeah. Those times when there are like longer nights and shorter days. For me, I didn't like them. Yeah, because my school was there was classes that I had until 6. So going back home, it's late, like it's dark, it's cold. You are wearing jackets, heavy jackets. You are wearing boots, like, and then still the weather has changed already now. Darkness is coming by 8:30. Yeah, but at least that's fine for me. That's great. Yeah, I like sun. So yeah, for me, I can say the only bad side I can say for me studying abroad, it's just the weather because it can just rain. Because I've been observing lately, like you seeing the weather forecasts, it's good, but later in the day, there are storms, there are wind, there is like rain, and you didn't expect the rain, you understand? Yeah, so the weather is the only challenge for me, but everything else is good. Traveling. Actually, I realized I love traveling once I came in Europe. Yeah. So for you, if you want to travel, my friend back at home, apply, study hard, as they say. Study hard. If you are in high school, study hard, get your grades, apply for scholarship. If you come to Europe, I guarantee you are going to travel around. Like for me, I want to travel to 27 European Union countries before I graduate. In a span of 4 years. In a span of 4 years, I'll be able to travel. And as he said, most of them are free. You don't need to pay for a vacation because like there is this Erasmus projects. And these Erasmus projects, they are fully sponsored. And so long as like you have the residence permit, because I have the residence permit of Hungary, I'm a resident of Hungary, right? So I can still apply for the Erasmus projects, and I can say they are free. So, and you'll travel by aeroplane, just like the way you use buses. Yeah. For me, like, if a month ends without using an aeroplane, I feel bad. Yeah.
Manifesting, even after school, it's just going to do this.
Yeah, so that's my experience.
Yeah, say it all.
But experiences are real life.
Yeah, for me, these things of like traveling, like these things of culture shock, like metro, I had traveled before, so they didn't really shock me. One of the things I have learned is that I can stay in a place where people speak different language and we communicate. A big proportion of Hungarians don't speak English. Yeah, and we are here and we are communicating with them on the streets, and we understand each other. Although the language they use to teach us is English, but when you are on the street there, you have to cope with their language.
Yeah, sure.
So that is the shock ahead. Another thing I can say, whether it's a shock or it's something I learned, is that many places in Europe is relatively safe. Yeah, here we have many places, including anywhere in the city. If you are a lady, you can walk at night like 3 a.m. alone.
It's so safe.
It's so safe. No one will really harass you. So that is one of the things I like. I like safety. So nice. When you are in Europe, I've been to different parts of Europe, and one of the things I can say, safety here is key and is good. And also here people, the authorities respond very fast. If there is an emergency, within 15 minutes, too much. Within 5 minutes, if there is something, you will see police, you will see fire brigade, you will see ambulance. They are good, especially in Hungary. I think within the European countries, Hungary is one of the best countries that respond to emergencies very fast. So it's something I've really learned being at this place. Said food, personally, I'm really struggling. I'm struggling with food because I'm a man from Kisii. We eat ugali.
Uzadara.
We have uzadara. Uzadara is a kind of ugali, but the flour is made of wheat, but it's like ugali, it's like corn flour, but it's wheat flour. So just imagine using wheat flour to cook ugali. So Kenyan people here, they've made it look normal, it's like ugali. So you are forcing yourself to make it. The taste is not the same, but it's ugali.
You just adapt.
I like it.
So, and also other food we are used to, like nyama choma. Nyama choma, you can access here, but it's very expensive and not in many places. It's not normal like in Kenya. You can eat nyama choma anywhere. There's no mutura one. Yeah, so those things are not there. So food, we have. Personally, I have limited option. Chicken. Also, beef here is expensive.
Yeah, beef. The only meat here, the only cheap meat here is chicken and pork.
Beef is expensive here, guys. So I'm struggling.
I'm sorry.
But people. Also, another thing is like the social space is so small. You can stay with a neighbor without knowing them. That is normal. You can say hi to somebody and they don't respond. That's okay to them. So, and people if you want to come and visit me, you have to alert me, like maybe one day in advance for me to prepare for your coming. It's not like in Kenya we just come to my house, you get whatever in the fridge, you help yourself with it. But here, when you go to somebody's place, you have to ask for permission for everything. Yeah, that's the differences they have here. Yeah, so they really take care of their social space. They have a certain envelope around them. For us, we are just there.
Everyone, everything.
Yes.
And I think also understanding that early enough is important, especially us coming from Kenya and these communist countries. It's very hard to adapt. Unless now you are now with fellow Kenyans and now you don't want to associate with other people, which is not good because you are in an international space, so you need to interact with people. So it's like forcing yourself, pushing yourself into spaces that even if they are not super welcoming and you know the positive that you're going to get from them, then you can still fit in. And at like sometimes they will keep on staring at you, but they will it's just a phase, it will just end.
And then I also feel like even the stares, normally for me, how I cope up with is, for me, even back in Africa, if people see a person from a different country who is not African, they would also stare. It is just a normal cultural thing for, I would say, people around the world. So I would just totally understand them because maybe it's also something new for them. And basically I've seen people back home stare at people from other countries as well.
Just one thing that I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, actually not really a conversation, but we were in class and we were talking about these cultural differences. And now different people from different cultures were saying the different cultural shocks that they have experienced when they are in Kenya. So there is this Latin American lady who was saying that when she came here, you see when you have a common cold or like a flu and you are cleaning your nose, back in their country they do not do that in public. But now when she came here, it was like she's seeing people do that in public and it was super disgusting at first. She was super uncomfortable. Maybe going to a restaurant and you see waitress. Like here it's so common. Okay, even in Kenya it's so common, but in their country it's not common. So understanding that there are these cultural differences even when dealing with different people is very important.
Just as you said, I've noticed they don't use handkerchiefs. I don't know what they use.
Pocket tissues.
Yeah, they use tissues, like disposable tissues. They don't use handkerchiefs because like I came with 5 handkerchiefs, but I don't use them.
You're already in the system.
Like I'm really quick in adapting new places.
The thing is that everywhere you go, even in the public places here, you can access the like serviettes, their washrooms, they are well equipped with the serviettes, so they are always there.
So
here public washrooms are very clean.
you never see a blocked public toilet. They are very clean in their hygiene actually. And maybe I can add one of the advantages of being in Europe. It's not like of cultural differences, but you can testify with me like students here, you can work as you study. So the cash flow here is good. Like even though I'm a student, I can have some cash while I'm still studying. I can go. There are like many student jobs. In Europe they offer student jobs to even international students. So you can be earning while learning. Understand? So even though you get the stipend, you still get the extra cash because compared to Kenya, it's really hard for you as a university student having a good job, not really a good job, like having a job.
Even a job,
But here there are systems where they help the students get the the jobs, and then you can have like good cash flow. You can flex if you want. You understand?
And because of that here, the culture of begging is not that
Yeah.
big here. People depend on themselves. People even actually feel bad when you give them money. Yeah, people don't receive like, why are you giving me?
Because there is good cash flow.
Yeah, people, if I go out with a lady, she pays her bill, I pay my bill.
Wow, yeah.
So that's the thing. There are opportunities for getting some cash. And people really don't fancy being given. They like working for themselves and earning.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a good thing I want also us to adopt.
Yeah.
Let us not really like being given. Let us really have the dignity of having our own resources by really working hard.
Sure, that's very true. That's a powerful point.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of this episode, and just a parting shot. Would you advise someone to maybe come and study for their bachelor's, master's, PhD in Hungary?
Okay, as I said, there is what they call Bologna process. It's an academic process that European universities subscribe to, and they say a master's degree in Hungary has the same weight with a master's degree in Germany, the same weight with a master's degree in UK, the same weight with a master's degree in Romania, in Poland, in Greece, all these countries. So if you get a chance to come and study in Hungary, you can come and study here, and you can work in any European country. So that's a plus. So if you can work in any European country, it means you can also work in an African country. Because African countries, they are all of them somehow we are affiliated with European. We have Francophone, we have Lusophones, we have the Commonwealth. We are somehow allied to European countries. So I really say, if you have an opportunity, you can come and study in Hungary. So you will not only get an opportunity to study, but you also get an opportunity to exchange, to have that diversity, cultural exchanges, because here we have people from Middle East who are students here. We have people from Asia who are students here. We have people from South America who are students here. We have people from North America who are students here. We have Europeans themselves. We have Africans from different countries. We have South Africans, we have West Africans. So that will give you a really base of creating a bigger capital, a bigger social capital for you to use in the future, because this world sometimes is about knowing people, having connections, and it starts at the classroom level, all the people you live with when you are a student. So my dear friend, wherever you are welcome to come and study in Hungary, and we are ready to help with the process where we can.
So on my turn, right? So I would really advise everyone, if you get this opportunity to come and study abroad, it can be the best thing for you. Because like as he said, like the degree that you get here, like in that certificate, it's European Union degree. So like the degree, like the one that you get in Hungary, is the same degree that someone in Germany is getting. You understand? So just as the student card, that the issue here is for European Union. It's not for your university, but it's for European Union. So still, the degree that you get here, it's for the European. It's recognized in the Europe, the whole Europe. You understand? So that paves you broader. That paves you to broader opportunities for jobs. So like for me, with my nursing degree, I can comfortably go to work in Germany. I can still opt to work still in Hungary. So I would advise everyone who is willing to study abroad. This is the best chance for you, especially through scholarships, because scholarships are cheaper. Yeah.
And also just to add on to what both of you have said, there is also, in our university, we have these one-tier programs where you can be able to do your bachelor's and graduate to your master's at the same time. So you're doing your bachelor's and master's at the same time. So instead of doing the 6 years, they do for 5 years. So you get there is a year that you at least get to, if you were to do the same bachelor's and master's program back in Kenya, then you have this 1 free year that you can be able to do other things. So those are some of the positives that come with maybe studying in these maybe abroad countries or countries that have such opportunities. And definitely, yes, I would advise anyone who wants to come and do their master's program, because there is this diversity aspect that you now get to see that there is a different world outside here, aside from just what you are used to. And this broadens your mind, and there is something that it does to your brain that you can get to tap into opportunities that you could not have seen if it was not for the exposure.
Yeah, that's really well said. And just to finish, where can people find you if someone needs more advice on maybe the scholarship opportunities or how to go about this? How can people reach you for help? Yes.
No, that I didn't expect.
It can be on Facebook, it can be on email, LinkedIn.
No, I'm in LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, I'm called Peter Mokaya. That's in LinkedIn. I'm in Twitter. I know it might be not popular among young people, but I'm Twitter, and my handle is at P Mokaya 1, number 1. P Mokaya 1. That's Twitter. Then Facebook, I'm called Petero Mokaya. Petero Mokaya. That is Facebook. And I'm in Instagram, which I am really not that active. It's called Mokpit for You. Mokpit. The number 4 and you. And you can get me there. And that is me. And if you can't get me, all these people, if you manage to get them, or if you manage to write a comment under there, under this video, looking for Peter Mokaya, you easily get me. So I'm ready to support where I can for free.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
So for me, I'm in Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. I'm in LinkedIn, but I'm not active yet. She calls me Gen Z. But for all my social media platforms, you can get me as YK the King. So maybe you can write it down because it's hard. So Facebook, you'll find me as YK the King. In Instagram, YK the King. Twitter, YK the King. LinkedIn, YK the King. But for my email, it's different.
We'll put all the contacts just for easy access. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much for coming to the podcast. We really appreciate and just sharing your experiences with other people. This was super insightful, and I'm sure definitely even the people who will be coming in the September intake, maybe through the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, or even those who are self-sponsored, definitely this will be a very insightful episode for you just before you get to it. And definitely, as Peter has said, don't forget to comment down below if you're looking for him or if you're looking for Waiki Adi King, and any other comments that you have or any other questions that you have regarding studying in Hungary or any other thing maybe regarding abroad, because we are international students, so definitely we might be able to help you get the help that you are looking for. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, and also turn on the notification bell and share with family and friends.
And until next time, bye.